We are live right now on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube, by the way, so you can watch live right now and join the conversation. Yesterday, we had a full day conversation on the statement put out by the presidency as to who wants to overthrow the president. Femi Adesina put out a statement saying that some religious leaders, some past political leaders, are planning, are mobilizing to have what they call some form of national conference to pass a vote of no confidence on the president, and then, stir up some discordant tunes all across the country that would, invariably, directly or indirectly, lead to the overthrow of the current government. And they said that, they will not allow this to work. And I did say yesterday that when you have the office of the presidency put out such a statement. I mean, listen, this was not put out by a group, known or unknown, or some persons. This came out from the office of the president. Then it shows it's a serious subject that we can't sweep under the carpet, or something that we'll just discuss once and we'll move on from there. No, that it's so important that we bring perspective to this. Joining me right now is a journalist of repute and, of course, a columnist as well. Fredrick Nwabufo is here. Fredrick, good morning to you. Thank you for joining the Morning Crossfire today. How is Abuja today?
Abuja, it's fine. Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning to you. How you been?
Here.
Yeah, good to have
Very
you.
well.
Good to
Very
have
well.
you.
Yeah,
Let's get on with this conversation. I'm first going to start with a statement from the presidency. When you saw that statement, what came through your mind?
Well, when I saw that statement, it was obvious that something was in the offing. Like I said in one of the articles I wrote on this subject, that when there are murmurs and whispers of coup, somebody somewhere is fiddling with the sticks. So it's portentous and ominous for the presidency to issue that statement. That means, of course, they know something is happening. We cannot discount the possibility of that happening. So it's really a weighty statement.
Well, questions are being asked as to who should rightly put out such a statement. The DSS did something like that on Sunday, I think. It wasn't the first time. Even the military, former service chiefs, the chief of army staff, Burate, said something in that regard as well when he was warning the hierarchy of the military. And he said something like he was aware that some top hierarchy of the military were being approached by certain individuals. So it's not a new rhetoric. Fredrick, it's not new to us at all.
Okay. Let me come in here. Now, the DHQ also put out a statement, and if not new, but you should understand that before a coup happens, if you look at the pattern of coups recently in West Africa, look at that in Mali, there is an intention, there is a plan, there is a plot before the actual thing. So I believe what is happening now, particularly with insecurity, would definitely set off an alarm with anyone. Of course, the DSS to have actually sent out a statement on that as well shows there is really something happening. For me, I cannot obviate the fact that there is something happening. So, but again, like I said about the pattern of coups in West Africa recently,
right,
and in Africa, there is the rate of coup hovering around West Africa. Coups used to be fashionable in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But we've actually seen a return of that recently. Saw that of Sudan in 2019. And what happened before the coup that sacked Omar al-Bashir? There were protests, and after that, the military took over. In Mali, the same thing. There were protests, insecurity, insurgency, and all of that. The military sacked the democratically elected government of Keita. So, of course, it all happens when there is chaos, when the cauldron is boiling over. People, of course, you saw a certain and prominent Nigerian calling for the military to take over just a few days ago.
That's right.
Of course, when there are rhetoric like that, it's concerning. It should concern anyone.
Right. So
Because
who wants, Fredrick? Who wants to overthrow? I mean, you wrote an article on this. Who wants to overthrow Buhari?
Okay, I cannot speak on that. I'm not a military tactician or a detective, but of course, let me say this. We have crisis entrepreneurs, pirates, buccaneers, people who would definitely extract a toll when Nigeria goes up in flames. There are people who benefit from that. Let's not forget, even in Nigeria over the years, coups really have been sponsored by politicians, civilians, not the military guys. The military guys do the job, of course. You get it? So there are crisis entrepreneurs, people who would definitely gain when Nigeria goes up in flames. And of course, if you see rhetoric by state, public political leaders making very inflammable statements, heating up the polity, stoking ethnic tension, and all of that. Of course, you wonder, what's the intention, what's the reason for all of this? As political leaders, they should palliate, modulate the statement. They shouldn't come and say things that would tear Nigeria apart. But we think such utterances from some political leaders. So you wonder what the intention is.
Indeed.
So of course, there are crisis entrepreneurs, people who will benefit if Nigeria goes up in flames. I'm waiting.
I'm glad that you mentioned political leaders. But let's touch, because we have to touch the political leaders and the religious leaders and then the media. So, because first two are the ones mentioned in that statement by the presidency, the political actors and of course the religious leaders. What is the role of the religious leaders here? Because people are saying that, look, this presidency is just trying to hound those that are criticizing the current government. It's not any coup. It's just they are just not tolerant to being criticized because the religious leaders are speaking out more than ever before.
Honestly, the clergy or perhaps religious leaders and the political class have always been in cahoots in the pauperization and subjugation of Nigeria.
Wait, say that again. Say that again, Fredrick. What did you say just now?
Religious leaders and the political class have always been in cahoots in the pauperization and subjugation of Nigeria. They all work hand in hand. You cannot discount or remove one from the other. They all work, in tandem. They work together. Because the political leaders, Nigerians are very religious people. So, let me take you back to the 2015 election. You saw some religious leaders with some politicians before the election coming together, meeting and all of that. So what were they doing? So of course, the religious leaders and the political class have always been working in tandem in the subjugation and pauperization of Nigeria. They work together hand in hand. So it's all part of this. It's the same class. There is only one class in Nigeria, and that is the class of the elite, the religious elite and the political elite, working together for their own personal benefits. So of course, the religious leaders come in here because they have followers. When they speak to people, okay, I want you to vote for this man. I want you to remove this man because God has said so. Of course, citizens, some persons want to react to that comment because they wield influence, powerful influence.
That's right.
So that's where religious leaders come in. When they make these pronouncements, God has rejected this president. God doesn't want this president. They speak in the voice of God, supposedly in the voice of God. And of course, or their penitents, their adherents, believe them, and they want to act to what they have said. That's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
What would you have them do in this instance where you and I know the situation, the insecurity situation in the country is not friendly at all? What would you rather everybody just keep mute and not say anything?
Okay. Not to the mute or quiet. Of course, they can. Everyone has the right to criticize the government, to call out the government, to call out the security agencies. It is the bounding right of every Nigerian. But a situation where a religious leader says, make pronouncements that are incendiary. Pronouncements like, God has rejected this president. God has rejected this leader. What are you saying? If that how insecurity, the problem of insecurity will be solved. Recall that before this administration, I'm not different in this administration, there were bomb blasts even in the federal capital territory.
That's right.
Some religious leaders did not speak up at that time because the government of the day favored them. That's the truth. So it's all a circle of hypocrisy. So religious leaders can speak out, criticize the government, give solutions, tell the government this is what it should do. We can all speak out, but we should actually palliate. They should palliate the utterances.
Indeed.
They shouldn't come and say God has rejected this president. God will do this. God will do. No. It's provocative. It's inflammable. That's not what should come out of a mouthpiece of God. That's not what it should be.
Indeed. Now, let me, because of time, we have about 25 minutes to do this. We have 10 minutes more. Let's talk about the role of the media in all of these, Fredrick. You are a journalist. You must have seen reports after report. In fact, people are tired of the reports of violence here and there, killings here and there. What is the role of the media in all of this?
The role of the media is to act in public interest, not to act in the interest of an ethnic group, not to act in the interest of any religious organization, not to act in the interest of any politician, not to act in the interest of the government. The role of the media is to act in public interest. And what is the greatest interest right now? It is to preserve the unity of Nigeria, to protect the country, so we won't have chaos, won't have anarchy everywhere. That is the beauty. That should be the duty of Nigerians. But we should report. But it's sad to actually see that you have the same ethnic cleavages in Nigeria. You have somehow in the newsroom. Yeah, so newspapers, if you need some newspapers report based on what their own section of the country says or does, in favor of one side against the other. That's what it should be.
Because I was actually going to double down on that one that you've said earlier about the newsrooms being divided. We've integrated our tribal sentiments, our religious sentiments into the newsrooms that we have. And just to add, Fredrick, even some media organizations that are owned by politicians. What does that say about the integrity of the profession?
That's the beginning of the problem. You have a particular newspaper reporting unknown government in the Southeast from an ethnic perspective. You have another newspaper in another section of the country reporting herdsmen crisis, banditry from a certain ethnic periscope. You also have, that's just it. It shouldn't be. The interest of Nigeria as a country should be the hallmark.
So the media, the media is currently part of the problem. That's what you're saying.
I will not discount that. Of course, it is. It is. When we report, when we give vent and voice to ethnic jingoists, ethnic champions, we report this person, what this particular group says. Nigeria will be no more on this particular day. We report it. We give voice to some people that we shouldn't give voice to. When a particular ethnic champion says something, this group, particular group, are no longer allowed in the Southeast. We report it. We give voice to that.
Yeah.
We're actually heating up the cauldron. We're heating up the system. We shouldn't give. We should mute voices of division, voices of disunity, voices of discord. We should mute voices that do not, agree with the tenets of our democracy, and that do not believe in our unity. We should not give them, voice. Yeah.
How do you then draw the line between, balanced reportage and favoritism? Because you have said now that we should mute voices of discord and disunity. How do you hold that tenet of journalism that you must give fair hearing to all sides and all opinions?
Yeah, of course, we must give fair hearing to all sides and opinions. But the fundamental thing is, whose interests are we serving? Whose interests are we serving? We should serve the interest of the public.
Right.
We shouldn't serve the interest of any group or any person or any politician or even the government. If, for example, a certain ethnic champion says something that could set off riots in the northern part of the country, as journalists, do we report it? Is it smart to report that or to re-echo what the person has said? For example, if a certain ethnic leader or champion says 5 or 20 Igbo persons have been killed in Borno or in Kano without evidence, without verification, and the same person blames it on herdsmen without verification, is that what we should report based on what he said? We should actually verify. We should do our duty. We have ethics.
That's right.
We should be guided by the ethics of the profession.
That's right.
It's not our duty to repeat, to regurgitate, to re-echo, to re-emphasize what someone somewhere has said. It's our duty to investigate, to find out the truth and report it. But what we've had most of the time is just what this person said, what that person said, he said, she said, they said, and all of that.
But what is responsible for this? Because, Fredrick, I know that we've said that, we have integrated sentiment into the newsroom and media houses, print, electronic, and whatever it is. We have done this, and it's wrong. It's terribly wrong, and it's not doing us any good. It won't do us any good at all. But what is responsible for it? What is the genesis of this?
Well, the genesis is simply the way Nigeria is structured. We have ethnic and religious factors tearing the country apart. It's still the same issues in the newsroom. You get it? This is the genesis of it. And of course, we also have a situation where we have lots of untrained journalists.
That's right.
Or even call them journalists. They set up a platform and they start pushing out whatever they think it's news. Of course, we have a preponderance of, or the mushrooming of internet infestations, blogs, some platforms that should not be there in the first place. And so we have a preponderance of that. So the news system is no longer regulated as it should be. In the past, you have newspapers, you have editors. Before a particular report goes out, it must go through a thorough, rigorous process.
That's right.
But right now, any person with a phone can just take something somewhere, or somebody would say something somewhere, or he sees something, the next thing he puts it online, and that becomes news. So we have an unregulated news system.
Right.
So it is the duty of practitioners to actually sanitize the system. We have to come together to sanitize, bring some sanity into the system. Because at the end of the day, if we continue like this, then we are headed for the rocks.
That's right. That's right. Before we go, Fredrick, it was World Press Freedom Day some days ago. Do you think there's press freedom in Nigeria?
Well, I don't think there's, let me answer that question specifically. What I think is that it is a journey. Press freedom is a journey. We are in that process. But as regards if there's freedom of expression, freedom to report or write what you think, I don't think we are there yet. Such freedom does not exist because there are some things, because press freedom is beyond. It's not physical, it's psychological. When there are militant approaches, militant measures, militant ways of addressing issues. For example, the DSS arrests a journalist. The DSS puts out a statement that if you say this, you're too hot, will come after. It's psychological. There's a psychological.
They instill fear.
Fear, of course, intimidation. So we are not there yet in terms of press freedom. It is a journey. It is a process. We're not there yet. It's not Uhuru for Nigerian journalists.
Fredrick, I would like to say this, if you permit me. Fredrick has an article online that you need to go and read up right now. He asks a question: who wants to overthrow President Buhari? That article can be found in the Nation newspaper. Fredrick, is there other platform that you put out your stuff so people can? The cable, okay.
The cable, my column, specifically the cable.
Right, fantastic. Yes. Fantastic. So you can go and check it out in the cable. Fredrick Nwabufo, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, Sheriff.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Let me say one last thing.
Yes,
let
please.
me say one last thing,
yes,
please. Nigeria, we owe Nigeria a duty, and that duty is to keep the country as one, united. And it's no longer a choice to keep Nigeria as one. It is a duty. We all have blame in the situation of the country. Or must all come together to make it the country we deserve. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Fredrick. Always a pleasure to have you. There you go, Lagos, Nigeria. Fredrick Nwabufo joined us from Abuja this morning. It was a great conversation we had with him. Hopefully, we'll be able to have Fredrick back on the show sometime soon. This morning here on Nigeria Info's Morning Crossfire. Let's take a few. Can we take like one call? We should? Okay. Let's squeeze in just one call before we go on this break. Good morning to you. Oh, I think we lost that call. Unfortunate caller. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Oh, you can't hear me. So we still have that issue with the telephone line. So what I probably do is to go to Facebook and take some comment off of Facebook. In a matter of seconds that I have left on the show today, I am so sorry. Something is wrong with the telephone and we have been unable to fix it. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Good morning to you.
Yes, my name is Femi. I'm calling you from Agbado.
I have like 30 seconds for you.
Yes, please. Your guess. I don't agree with it at all.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Let's leave it there. I'm so sorry. I just needed to hear a call and see if we can get through. Let's go to break. When we return, we'll talk asthma. All right. And take your thought on my guest point of view. Stay here.
Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3